The dominance of the US dollar has profound implications for global geopolitics. Nations that challenge the dollar often face severe repercussions from the US. For instance, Saddam Hussein's decision to sell oil in euros instead of dollars was a significant factor leading to his regime's downfall. Similarly, Muammar Gaddafi's attempt to bypass the dollar and create a unified African currency resulted in his ousting. The US has wielded economic sanctions as a powerful tool, with countries like Iran and Russia experiencing substantial global ripple effects. The dollar's influence is so extensive that it can cripple a nation's economy almost instantly, an impact unmatched by sanctions from smaller nations. But how did the US dollar come to dominate the global stage? To understand this, we need to look back at the evolution of currency. Thousands of years ago, people relied on barter systems, exchanging goods directly, like tomatoes for rice. However, this method had limitations, particularly for larger transactions where items could spoil. As a solution, societies began using valuable metals like gold, silver, and copper, which were more durable and could be stored long-term. One of the earliest advancements came from Lydia, which introduced gold and silver coins, simplifying trade. Yet, as trade expanded over long distances, carrying heavy coins became impractical. Merchants traveling between cities like Delhi and Mumbai started depositing their gold with trusted intermediaries and withdrawing equivalent amounts at their destinations, an early form of banking. The development of modern banking continued with China's 12th century system, where gold deposits were exchanged for banknotes, facilitating trade without the burden of physical gold. This banking model spread to Europe, where paper currency began to replace metal coins. The UK's pound sterling became a dominant currency, tied to the gold standard due to its substantial gold reserves and global trade dominance. The landscape shifted dramatically during World War I. The UK's heavy debts depleted its gold reserves, while the US, initially neutral, benefited economically by supplying arms and resources. By accumulating significant gold reserves and establishing a central bank, the US dollar began to rise in prominence. The move away from the gold standard allowed the US to print more currency, reinforcing its economic power. Today, despite not being the largest exporter, the US dollar remains the world's leading currency. The tech sector, particularly in India, has flourished as the US outsources services. Platforms like Scalar offer opportunities for individuals to tap into this global demand for skilled data science and machine learning professionals. The rise of the US dollar is also linked to the Bretton Woods Agreement and the global economic shifts post-World War II. The US dollar replaced the British pound as the dominant global currency, partly due to efforts by Germany to undermine the pound by circulating counterfeit notes. The Bretton Woods system led to the creation of the International Monetary Fund and World Bank, establishing the dollar as the central reserve currency. The post-war period saw oil solidify the dollar's position as the primary global currency, with the petrodollar system compelling countries to use US dollars for international trade, particularly in oil markets. This dominance was further cemented by President Nixon's 1971 decision to end the dollar's direct convertibility into gold, which had far-reaching effects on the global financial system. Recently, there has been a movement toward de-dollarization. Countries like China and Russia are exploring alternatives to the US dollar, such as trading in their own currencies or developing a shared BRICS currency. While these efforts aim to challenge the dollar's supremacy, the feasibility and impact of such alternatives remain uncertain. This narrative highlights how the US dollar's rise has shaped global economic policies and the ongoing efforts by other nations to counterbalance its dominance.